sit beside you?
Maybe.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing this morning? Oh, that was weak. You can do better. There we go. Not yet. Not yet. It's not. It's too early for that. But welcome to the Danganronpa panel. I am so glad that you guys all came out this morning. It's really early. I imagine that not many of you wanted to get up that early, but I'm so thankful that you guys actually came. So we really appreciate that. We're gonna start with introductions. So,
I'm Beth. I'm Drop Pop Cosplays.
Woo!
Fix everything. What?
Finger guns can fix everything.
I'm Virgil, and I go by Royal Bunny.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't have anything else I want to say before. I'm sorry, I'm a Shy Nugget.
Hi, I'm Julian. I go by Wild.Arum cosplays.
Hello, I'm Cassandra. I don't have a fun cosplay name, but I do have Nagi Kuma here, who's also here to help us.
So, the way that we're going to do this is we're going to discuss every single one of the games. If we have time, we're going to discuss Ultra Despair Girls, but because it's a spin-off, I feel like it doesn't really add to the plot very much. And we're going to have room for questions, so if you end up having any questions at any point, feel free to go up to the microphone in the middle, and we will get to your questions as soon as we can. So, let us get started with the first Danganronpa game. I assume that you guys have all played or watched it, so we don't need to worry about any spoilers.
We will be providing warnings when we move on to a new game. So we'll be like, okay, well, we're going to discuss this game, so if you haven't played it or you don't want spoilers, you can leave now. Yeah, just to let you guys know.
So, first game, how do we want to start this? Do we want to start by listing our favorite character? Yeah? Alright. Beth?
Well, I like all of the DR1 characters, but I think like my favorites that I've loved since like their intros was like Asakina, Kirigiri, and Celestia, because they're all just so spunky.
Agreed. Honestly, Chihiro has my heart. I love him so much.
My favorite would have to be Leon.
Leon did nothing wrong. Leon Protection Squad.
Leon was acting in self-defense.
Fun fact, Virgil and I here have been dating for almost 6 years, and we actually met by cosplaying as Chihiro and Leon.
So that's kind of our crack ship.
Sakura Ogami, best girl.
Yeah.
She's too precious. Okay, actually, on that note, why don't we also discuss who our least favorite death was? You can go first. Like, who do you feel like should not have gone?
Oh, should not have died? All of them. I think Ishimaru's death really was sad for me. Like, Ishimaru and Sakura's death were both really, really sad, and it was like, the poor babies.
I agree. Honestly, I think Sakura's death was my least favorite because she did it with such heartfelt intention. It felt like it was just, oh man, it really it hits the heart. It breaks my heartstrings. It doesn't just pull on them, it breaks them.
Yeah.
Chihiro.
Aww.
Chihiro deserved better.
He did, he really did.
So Sakura's death is definitely the one that made me the most emotional and the most sad, because she was my favorite character, like right when I started. Fell in love with her design and her character. But I think for me, the worst death was Ishimaru's, just because the other characters didn't seem to care as much as Yamada's for that case.
Yeah.
So, which just, with Sakura's death, at least everyone cared and it had emotional impact on the characters. Ishimaru's, everyone was just like, well, guess he's dead too.
Yeah, right?
It was really sad. Like, the only time he came up during the trial was, it was like, oh, wait, hold on. It's because these facts don't line up. That's the only mention.
Yeah, right? Why don't we say maybe what our favorite part of the game was?
I think it was interesting how it can kind of spin off into a bad end during trial 5. If you expose Kiryu on her lie, then it goes into like a bad end and just kind of at the end of getting to the end, that picture that's shown that the fact that they all are living in the school.
So it's like Kiryu ends up getting executed.
Yeah.
And it's Togami, Hinata, not
Yeah, it's
Hinata.
Hina, Yasuhiro, and Makoto.
Yes.
And Toko like died of mysterious causes.
Actually, it's never actually said whether or not Toko died of mysterious causes. Her picture is there. For all we know, she could be the one taking the picture.
Yeah.
It's never actually explicitly said whether or not she's
Taking a
dead.
nap somewhere.
For all we know.
Just chilling.
For all we know, she sneezed and passed out.
I'd have to say mine is probably when alter ego gets referred to as the little sister. And like, it creeped me out. It's just like Hifumi like fawning over alter ego and like, I needed a shower.
Yeah.
So, this is gonna get a little sappy here, but my favorite part of DR1 is just for that final trial once Neg's basically shooting the hope bullets at everyone.
That's great.
Especially because when I got into Danganronpa, it was the summer after I graduated high school. I was off to start university. I was in like an unsure, iffy place, and like that sort of uncertainty the characters had and their determination to move forward with hope really stuck with me, and just got me right in the feels, y'all.
I think that was the point of the game, is to get you right in the feels and make you feel like hopeful and like determined for these characters to do it. And it's like, because of the unpredictability of the Danganronpa series, you never really know if they're gonna make it to the end or not, because it's like, for all we know, you know, Spike could have like been like, hey, no, we're not gonna have the hero win this time. So it's just, it was really nice to actually see that kind of a sappy, happy, like hopeful moment.
I actually have a question for you guys. Who do you think was the most problematic character?
In the first game, yeah.
Attitude-wise?
It's for whatever reason. For whatever reason. Feel free to go up to the microphone and hear what you want to actually say.
It could be as shallow as I just don't like the way their nose looks. Like,
I would say the most problematic was her courage. She never added anything to anything. It was just a distraction at best and annoyance at worst.
Yeah.
For me, it was definitely Coco, because there were, almost every time she says her mouth, I'm like thinking, when will you shut up?
I can't say that sometimes she was a little overbearing for sure, but honestly, I feel like that kind of gives to her very reclusive personality, where she's like, she seems like the type, she seems like a shut-in, and so shut-ins wouldn't typically like have a very much experience with social cues and things like that, so she probably didn't really know how to socialize with people.
I can verify that.
Anxiety is not a fun thing. If you guys also have any questions, literally feel free to come up and ask. This is a discussion panel. Like, even if you have any sort of theories about the series, if you want to get our opinions on certain theories, or, you know, like, feel free to come up to the microphone and ask. We are more than welcome to, and open to questions and things like that.
Yeah, this is a participation event. Not a stare at us and make us sweat.
Don't be shy, we don't bite. I mean,
Much.
a lot of people might, but.
No, we're keeping one of them out of this.
So this might be kind of a cop-out, but like realistically it was Makuro. It was like the most like problematic. Like I think like looking back on Danganronpa 1, after playing it, like I watched it back like 2 years after, and like the amount of times they play that same scene of like Kyoko whispering in Makoto's ears, Makuro Ikasaba the 60s scene, watch out for her. It was kind of ridiculous after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
What moment in the game did you think was the most confusing?
Ooh, that's a good question. Honestly, do you want to go first?
No.
Okay. Honestly, I think Sakura's trial really threw me through a loop because, like, going through the game, you know, I know it is a killing game, and so I'm expecting that the students are gonna kill each other. Like, it didn't even cross my mind that one of the characters could have actually, like, been so distraught to actually commit suicide.
Yeah.
Mine probably would be none of the above because I actually got into Danganronpa before I played the game, and everything was spoiled for me, so I really enjoyed it, but yeah, when you've been handed the answers, it gets really easy, unfortunately.
So for the most confusing part of the game-ish, just almost like a meta-confusing thing, is what was the point of like Ishimaru's like transforming into like Ishida type thing? What is
Yeah.
We have a bromance so strong.
one confusing thing?
This is
Ishida just die.
This is looping back around to like answering who is the most problematic character. I mean, the objective answer is technically Junko because the world is pretty problematic. But if she doesn't count, then it's probably, I would say it's Kogami, even though I'm dressed like him. Probably.
Oh my god, yeah.
While I dress like him, he's just such a fucking bastard. The entire
I mean, he literally like messed with Chihiro's and literally made it confusing on purpose so everybody would pin it on Dem Starter Show.
So, second disclaimer, don't forget this is a PG panel,
Oh,
so
I'm very
as
swearing is
tempting as
like-
it is, I curse like a sailor. I have to like
I'm
censor
sorry.
myself.
No, don't worry about it. We should have probably clarified that at the beginning.
Probably.
I got it.
We're gonna take maybe 2 more questions, then we're gonna move on to the next game.
It's not a question. I just want to say that the most irritating characters for me was Hifumi. He was so annoying. I was just waiting for him to die.
Yeah, but see, the whole point of him is to be annoying. He's supposed to be the otaku, so it's like, I feel like they kind of portray him in a really good way to actually get the audience out of us.
I mean, he's very accurate as an otaku because he literally like annoys me, and every time he's on screen, I'm like uncomfortable.
My friend actually spoiled it for me, and she told me that he was gonna die, so I was just waiting for it to happen. And then she died then too, so it was really, I was feeling mixed emotions. I was happy, but sad.
If I could just ask like one final question.
Sure, go for it.
If you were going to be the ultimate high school whatever, what would you be?
Oh, I like that question.
Super high school level dancer.
I'd probably like to take over Hifumi's place as the ultimate doujin artist, honestly.
Sure. I'm gonna go with the ultimate social service worker, because that's the field I'm in.
That's actually really cute. That's actually really cute.
It's adorable.
Ultimate makeup artist, definitely.
All good, I'd probably not be ultimate high school anything, but I do relate to Naja to Komaida because my lectures goes up and down, up and down.
Yeah, Julian actually has very similar to Komaida's luck. It's really ridiculous. It's always him having good luck, and then everyone else has misfortune. It's ridiculous.
We were playing a game last night at the Moonlight Ball, and you could earn extra points by flipping certain cards, and I kept getting extra points and extra points and extra points, and then my friend who's next in line got eliminated on the first card.
Oh my god.
All right, so let's move on to the next game. So we've got Super Danganronpa 2. So
Goodbye, despair.
Goodbye despair, but really not. Really not. So let's start again with our favorite character.
I have a couple of favorite characters in Dear 2. I don't have one singular favorite character. Like I like Chiaki, I like Maharu, Peko, and I love Hajime. I just love how every trial he's like, what did you guys do now?
I think Chiaki is definitely my favorite character, honestly, especially after the anime. Like, it really reinforced her character for me.
Okay, so like I have two. I love Kazuryu.
Yes.
Like I actually have really short hair and I wear heels when I cosplay, so you can't tell that I'm actually really, really short. But my favorite character has to be my wife, Chiaki. We're married, it's wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you.
When was the wedding and why wasn't I invited?
Sorry. My boyfriend, I'll introduce you to my wife soon.
Okay.
Alright. My favorite Dear 2 character, Komaida.
He's the ultimate problematic fave.
Yes, he's so much fun. I love him.
I mean, he's recently come into popularity.
Really?
Yeah.
With some really cute.
Oh, that's right. There's Sam's Undertale, and then there's also the Clown Maida.
One of my friends cosplays Clown Maida.
These are a wild thing. Okay, favorite part in the game?
Favorite part? I honestly like the first party when they were all having fun before lights went out and the death happened.
Yeah.
It was just so wholesome. Also, I love them on the roller coaster. Just each and every one of their faces when they're on that roller coaster is the funniest thing ever.
Definitely, I agree. Honestly, I think them being at the amusement park is my favorite part because it's like it's a little shred of them having a good time together, you know, forgetting that they're part of a killing game and just having a moment where they can just be happy, and it is really wholesome. It is.
So you're about to learn what type of person I am. I really enjoy the scene where they're sitting in the diner and then the girls all come in their bathing suits.
That one's pretty funny though, because Soda's like, oh, I can't wait to see Sonia, and then Soda shows up in a bodysuit.
Yeah, right? He's like expecting cleavage and then there's no cleavage.
So my favorite part in Dear 2 is probably Trial 1 when Komaida frickin' loses it. Because that's where I'm like, okay, your character went from to fascinating in like 0.1 seconds. I'm invested now.
Oh, and another favorite part is when they're, are you done?
Yeah.
When you're exploring the second island and Hajime goes into like the bathroom or whatever, and you're investigating everything, and like if you click on like the girls' bathroom or like the security cam, it's like, oh, to make sure that no boys go into the girls' bathroom and like no girls go into the boys' bathroom, and that's like Monami explaining it, and then Monokuma shows up like machine guns in hand, everything ready, like who cares to go into the girls' bathroom?
Yeah, right? Hello.
I feel like, hi, it's me again, and now I feel like I'm about to ruin the mood.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Whose betrayal betrayed you the most?
That's a good question.
I got one.
Go for it.
Right. Okay. Gundam hurt me. Gundam like being like the killer hurt me. I did not see it coming. He was like my second favorite.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I would have to say the same because it's like he's so gentle with animals, and like even though he talks about being the god of destruction or whatever,
He would never hurt a fly.
he would never hurt a fly. He honestly would never hurt anyone, and so like I just could never imagine him killing anyone.
Honestly, like trial 5, that's the only trial in all of Danganronpa where I cried. Like, it's
Oh
just,
my god, I lost it.
it's when it, like, literally, it was going through, it was like, oh hey, pick who you think pick who the killer is, and I'm like, wait, all these facts are adding up to Chiaki. That can't be right. I literally paused the game, looked up the walkthrough, like, what is it? And it was like Chiaki, and I'm like, crying, no. Chiaki.
Oh, I thought of something. I have another character that I really, really love. It's actually more than one character.
Okay.
Gundam's hamsters.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes.
The best character in the franchise.
The most wholesome and innocent characters of the entirety of Danganronpa.
I love that Sonya took care of them after the 4th trial.
Yeah, that was really nice.
It's so pure.
Yeah. Welcome to the microphone.
So how did you feel about the executions in this game? I felt compared to the first and third game, they were by far the weakest.
You know, in all honesty, I kind of agree with you on that, and some of them, I feel like some of them were strong.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm sorry you're gonna hate me for this, but I think honestly the best execution out of them was Chiaki's.
It honestly was. Like, it fit into her talent perfectly. It kind of went with the whole, like, it kind of still showed her connection with Monami, because, like, she was still trying to protect Monami throughout, like, all of it, because of they're trying to teach her foundation, and it was just great. I think my least favorite execution was Negan, because it didn't make sense at all.
Yeah, no, like, I definitely feel like the executions for SR2 were largely, like, a lot weaker. Although the motivations for a lot of them are pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Like, it was someone who was starved to death.
Yeah.
I honestly have a little bit of a theory towards why they're probably weaker. I think when they initially created Danganronpa, I don't think that they were planning on going past the second game.
Yeah, I don't.
And so, you know, usually how it is the sequel ends up not being as good as the original first version. So then when they noticed that the game was getting popular still, you know, when they created the anime and the next game, you know, they were like, okay, we gotta put extra effort into it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What character would you have saved for who got executed?
Chiaki for me as well, honestly.
Yeah, probably Chiaki. For who'd I save, I'd actually go with saving Gundam, because the reason for killing was just, you know, so everyone else wouldn't starve to death.
Yes. I love Gundam so much.
Okay, so this is kind of a weird question, but say like the killing game like reset and like things could like go different like another timeline. Like which characters could you see like possibly being like a killer or a victim or so on? It's like a what if kind of thing. Like if things went differently.
Honestly, I feel like if there's one thing I feel that would have been different, I feel like there would have been an execution and murder between Owari and Nidai, but that would have been completely accidental since they always like to spar. And I feel like after he became Robo Nidai, it kind of gave him a little bit more of an advantage in the fact that, you know, he could have had more strength to accidentally kill Owari.
Did they send you to the hospital in the game? No. She went to the hospital because she got infected with that despair disease, but I remember during when they were meeting up in the swimsuits and whatever, she showed up like covered in blood because they were sparring and like she hit her head or something and like she could have died.
Something like that, but she didn't end up going to the hospital about it. She was totally fine afterwards.
Yeah.
I feel like the game would have stopped shortly after it began because I think Umayata would have snapped and blown up the island right away.
Everything with explosives. I feel like if Soda's pestering got annoying enough, Sonya would have to kill him.
Yeah, she would have choked him out.
Yeah, she would have.
And with her fascination with serial killers, she would have probably gone crazy.
She would have gone away with it.
Probably would have.
Or Hajime would have like snapped at the beginning and just killed Kamaya right there and then.
Yeah.
Just opens his
That
eyes.
definitely made you think, considering like, well, actually not. I'll wait till we get to third game to go into that territory, but
Alright, we'll take one more question.
Okay, hi. Okay, my question is, were you happy about any of the deaths?
Ooh. That's a loaded question. That's a loaded question. Beth?
I don't know. I guess I was kind of happy when character. Yeah, other than like character, not really. All of the deaths kind of took me by surprise and like hurt at least a little bit.
I think honestly for me it's also Teru given the fact that I feel like he was the least contributing character to the series.
Yeah.
I feel like honestly they all had their redeeming qualities and except for Komaeda, but you know that's just me. But I feel like they all had so much potential and I feel like if they had the chance they would have all, you know, worked together.
I think they were trying to give you like some pity votes for Teru because he wanted to see his mom again.
Yeah.
But like.
Yeah, for all you Boku no Hero fans, if you take grapes and put them on Teru, I was actually incredibly satisfied by Teru's death. I thought he looked delicious.
He looking like a snack.
I don't know if I'd say like it made me happy per se, but I mean with like when Seonji was killed, I was just like, I was like fairly like happy when she was dead, and then I got sad when Ibuki was also dead.
Yeah.
I forgot that Kyoko died.
Well, how is she not on the board?
In my opinion, mine would be Chiaki. I just did not like her. Feel very sad.
That's fair.
That's fair. Everybody's valid to their opinion. Okay, we'll take one more question.
What do you think of Nagito's trial?
That was so confusing from like start to finish. It was kind of like confusing at the end. It's like, did he commit suicide? So then it was like, wait, then one of the people killed him, but wait, will all of them have to die? And oh no, Johnny.
Yeah, I honestly actually had a really hard time figuring out that trial. I honestly like could not piece together who it was because I was like, he literally went by it with pure luck, so it literally could have been any of them.
You're like suicide by cop.
My boy went out with a bang.
Literally.
I actually do agree with that. It was very confusing. I was just desperately praying that it wasn't Chiaki.
Same.
Yeah.
And then it was, and then we all got sad. Alright, so let's move on to what do you guys think in order? Should we talk about the anime before V3 or should we talk about V3 first? Anime? Okay. We'll go chronological order with this. Okay, so.
Emotions.
So many emotions.
Favorite side future characters?
Okay, let's see. I don't remember. I don't
remember their names.
I don't remember their names, but the confectionery girl. Oh yeah, Ruruka. I really liked her. I thought she was so adorable.
I liked the guy who was dating the super high school like housemate. The guy who's dating Chisa and like kind of.
Were they actually officially dating?
I don't know.
I think they liked each other.
Whatever.
It wasn't official, I think it was more like they were just typecasting each other.
Okay, well, I like him because I like memeing on him because of his forbidden action because he couldn't open the door to save his life.
Yeah, right? I actually found that out like so easily. Actually, it was Julian who realized first that he couldn't open doors, and I was like, oh, that sounds stupid.
Our spirit lives on. No running in the hall.
Spoiler alert, our theory, Ishmael's mastermind all along.
When we were playing, Virgil kept we lived together, so we played together, and he kept insisting there was no way that that could have been, you're not allowed to open doors. And I'm like, but he threw the sword, like, who throws a sword?
He threw a sword. So my favorite, I actually really liked Chisa, the housemate, just because like I like seeing her like be like the SDR2 kids like teacher as well, and like the reveal I thought like for her like actually being despair was like really interesting, and yeah, she was like kind of like one of like the new characters for that anime I found actually like really good. I also like Sakura, Juzo.
Yeah. I also like Izuru. Like,
Also, just gonna preface this with, I didn't particularly like Danganronpa 3, but there are parts of it I liked.
You know, are we going with like both sides?
No, just side future.
Side future? Okay.
Actually, can I change my answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, can I change my answer? You're illegal.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
We'll save this for after the panel.
Oh god, honestly, it's been so long since I've seen it. I didn't give myself any like quick refresher on the anime, but honestly, I think my favorite character, simply because of a specific moment, was I don't remember his talent either, but the Forbidden Love.
Yes. Juzo.
Yes, Juzo was definitely my favorite. He got on my nerves a little bit at the beginning, but then afterwards it kind of grew on me, and I was just kind of like, okay, this is really cute, and he can't even like confess his feelings, and it's just so tragic the way that he ended up dying before he actually got to confess his feelings, and I was just like, Danganronpa, why you gotta do this to me?
I also like the guy who couldn't open his fists for like majority of it, and then he ripped Yoko.
I feel like he should have gone more screen time.
He should have. He was honestly a really chill character, but like he knew more than he's saying. And I kind of like characters that are like that. It's probably why I like Yoko.
I'd have to say for me, it was probably Asahina, because it was just such a nice, like, she was just such a nice, wholesome touch to it, where you're just like, it's despair everywhere, and then Donut Girl. And ketchup. And she's great.
All right, we got some questions.
Go for it.
How did you guys feel about the ending, specifically with Kyoko? I felt like completely ridiculous, like out of nowhere.
I honestly felt.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, man.
And I just feel like Kyoko was just randomly selected.
I honestly feel like it was a cop out. I feel like it ended up being a thing where they wanted to like make people get upset and then like bring them back from it, but I feel like it would have been better executed if she stayed dead.
Probably.
Yeah. I feel like one of the problems I had with Danganronpa 3, like with both like Kirigiri and Asahina, was they did like the fake out death and then, oh no, they're fine. So like most of the characters who died in like Side Future were just like new. So some of them didn't get developed enough for us to care just because of how many episodes there were.
Yeah, I think it would have been better executed had like all of them been able to come back to life, because they would have been like, oh, then you're not just randomly doing that to make your fans happy, but also on the other side of it, I'm like best wife who never dies.
Yeah, at the end of it, Ashton Kutcher pops up and goes, ah, you were pranked.
Just a prank, bro!
I'm sorry, we have any other. Do you want to add to this, or?
Yeah, I would have been happy if she had lived, you know, like if she had to live, that she'd been like crippled by the poison that had affected her.
Yeah, that would have been.
That would have made sense.
Hey, go ahead.
So, how do you feel about them pretty much, well, I felt it was a waste of an episode, doing the conclusion to Kamaru, Toko, and Monica. I felt that was kind of a waste of an episode.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of just threw that in to tie characters in and to kind of give closure, but honestly, like, it was a little bit of a waste of an episode. I feel like they could have done better with that one.
Yeah.
the most relatable character.
She is. She's just like, yeah, I got bored of despair, so I'm just gonna go live the rest of my days in space.
Mine was so annoying that I have to get off the same planet as
Yeah. I was watching it and I'm like, I feel personally attacked by this.
Alright, we can take 2 more questions.
Okay, it's partially related to 3, but for, I guess for the audience, who has watched the Danganronpa 3 stage play? And they've heard those events over.
I would have loved to see it. I can't find it anywhere online, and I'm just.
Haven't seen it.
Okay, yes. Am I okay with spoiling it? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, the way how they did it is, of course, they don't include the DR2 saving the day, but rather how they did it is the people that, got killed by Bangle, like they were temporarily out of action, and then they would come save the day. And of course, it's Naegi that convinces Ryota to stop with the uploading the whole video. And I really like that way better because while he does the whole convincing thing, like Ryota saying, like, if there's no more despair, like they have a contrast with Junko's, who coincidentally is also the voice of Kaide, by the way, in V3. Like they contrast, like, oh, if there's no more despair, then you have Junko in the back that says the opposite, like if there is no hope, and then it's like if there's no more sadness, and then she would be like, if there's no happiness. Like I found that a really good contrast, like the white hope, like despair and black hope. So yeah, I definitely.
That's really cool.
So, you can buy it all on Amazon, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
They do import it, so.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to go like third party or anything.
Awesome. All right, thank you for the info.
All right. So because the anime essentially brings like everyone from that arc together, who's your favorite like ship like out of all of that? Like what's your favorite ship between the characters?
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm going there.
Definitely Juzo, and honestly, I just wish that could have happened.
Yeah.
I'm so sad about that.
They were so good.
That made me so salty.
They were really good. I like that ship too. I wish that had happened.
I mean, I like Chisa and him together, but honestly, I feel like Juzo and him would have been better.
Yeah.
Listen, he has 2 hands. He can have a girlfriend and a boyfriend.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
Yeah, it's like
I wouldn't have even minded the 3 of them since they were all so close.
Junko comes Kamida for life, by the way.
That's an interesting ship. I've never heard that one before.
I like, speaking of interesting ships, I like Junko and Izuru. I find their dynamic is interesting.
Interesting.
I mean, we didn't get a lot of it in Danganronpa 3, but I will always have a soft spot for Kamida Hinata.
Yes.
I really liked the dynamic that was between Kirigiri and the guy with the hat.
Yeah. Like it was really wholesome.
It was.
Yeah.
That was devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always liked the dynamic between Hina, Kiri, and Naegi. Like they're really cool. They're really good together, like friendship-wise, and they just always have each other's back and they'll slap each other on the skirt.
All right, one more quick question, and we gotta move on to the next game.
I was going to say, what's for like all the games? What's your favorite, like not favorite, but what ships do you don't like? I just opened a can of worms.
Oh, you did.
Well, I think that we should actually hold off on that question until we finish talking about the last one.
Oh yeah, because then we can give the
we get to
opportunity.
that as well.
Yeah. So we'll hold off on that question. All right, we're talking about V3 now. So, as usual, let's start with our favorite characters.
Well, I really like Kaede. I like Kaito. Yeah, I hear them. Kaito, Kurami. I like Kurami more after her like execution. I liked her before, but like after her execution and how that played out, I'm like, that's really cool what they did for her. I like her a bit more now too. I kind of liked everybody. I guess the only person I didn't really like was Korikyo. And yeah.
Honestly, before finding out about the ending of the game, Tsumugi was my favorite because her being a cosplayer, it was just like, she spoke so much wisdom about cosplay, and it just made me so happy to know that the creators actually did their research on it and actually.
Yeah, she spits some real cosplayer truth.
She really does.
Gonto's best boy.
The boy. Something I like about Tsumugi is you can literally say that you're cosplaying Tsumugi even if you're in another cosplay. You can just say you're Tsumugi cosplaying another person. Yeah, we're all Tsumugi here.
Alright. So you are right that Gonto's best boy, and I do dearly love him. But my favorite character is Oma.
Also, I like Naki. Naki's great.
What a delightful little guy.
Alright, favorite part from V3?
Fifth trial. The fifth trial was honestly my favorite trial out of all of them. It was just, it throws you in a headlock. It throws you, my first time playing through, it threw me in a headlock, and I was yelling at my friends, I don't know what one, and my friend's like, I'll give you a hint, it's the purple one. I'm like, they're both purple. The second time I played through the trial, I was noticing little things the access style makes Kaito poses the entire time, so it kind of gives away who's in it from the beginning, which I think is a really cool touch, and it's not something you're always paying attention to, but just, I'm like, wait, hold on, that pose, and I looked up Kaito and Kokichi poses, and I'm like, Kokichi's this, Kaito is this, oh my god, it was Kaito the entire time.
I think all of the interactions between Shuichi and Kaito were my favorite, and them working out together, I thought that was honestly just so wholesome. And it's just, that's the true friendship you got there.
Every moment with Kaito is pretty wholesome.
Yes, it is.
The insect meet and greet.
Oh my god.
He just wanted them to be friends. Just wants fun friends for everyone.
He locked him in a room.
He's so wholesome. He's wholesome. It was well intentioned. He's a sweet boy. Leave him alone. I have to agree that the chapter 5 was also my favorite part, just because I honestly think that's the best trial in the entire Danganronpa series.
We have such a lineup for questions. Oh my god.
Oh boy. Yeah. There's not much I can say about chapter 5 trial that you didn't already say. So, a lot of questions.
All right, go for it.
Well, this isn't a question, but it's a response to my favorite part.
Okay.
I just really my favorite parts were when they basically trolled us. I'd say two times. The first time was when it was revealed that Kaede was the murderer, and they just killed her off. Because up until that point, I was watching the trailers and all that, and I was like, oh, she's the main character. There's she's gonna be the first main character, female main character in Danganronpa. She's gonna be with us the entire time. And then the first trial, it's her, and she's dead. And then it's a new character.
More like Kaede.
Oh, that was hurtful.
And so Spike Shinza basically just trolled all of us, and I think that was a really great moment because I don't really see that very often. At all, and I just thought it was really cool. And I guess the second part was when they revealed that Danganronpa 3 is actually the 53rd Danganronpa, and it kind of just blew my mind.
Listen, I like to pretend that that's not the real ending. I don't want to believe that the first two games aren't real.
I didn't like the ending of the 3.
The ending isn't real, we substitute our own.
Let me just say firmly planted in my lovely level of denial, please.
Right, so I'm going to bring back up the ending. So taking that into account, does Spike Chunsoft actually hate us? Or is this part of the narrative?
Oh, that's a good question. What if it's both? What if it's both?
I think some that is disparaging, honestly.
Oh, yeah,
Someone
probably.
is Kodak.
Yeah. It kind of, some of it kind of felt like the ending of V3 was a bit lazy to me. Like there's
Yeah, I
elements
felt
of it
that way
that where it could have been made cooler, but then like they just went for like kind of a cheapo, it was all a dream trope.
I have a theory.
Thing yeah.
I have a theory. What if it was their way to cause us, the players, the ultimate despair?
I mean, also the fact that that it was Danganronpa 53rd, it kind of means all the fan games are canon.
That's true.
That's one of the reasons that I like it, because it kind of opens up, like, you can just make fan games. It's a series, but leaves it open enough to do that kind of thing.
Alright, next.
So what I really enjoyed about V3 is how they changed the kind of themes that Danganronpa works with, from like the hope and despair, which is a fine theme, but it's been kind of done to death at this point with how many different sequences, and changing to the truth and lies idea, which I think is a much more interesting themology. And every part of the game is like focused on that kind of theme, from like the kind of main villain in Oma, the like new mechanics, even the ending, and all of that fits into that theme. And I think that theme works a lot better than the original, and that's one of the reasons why I really like it. So I was just asking, what do you think of the change in the theme?
I honestly think it was a good change for the series. Like you said, the Hope and Despair was like way overdone. They milked it all they can, and I honestly didn't expect that they would have kept it for all of the games. Like I expected that only to be for the first game.
Yeah, while I didn't care for the ending, I thought that the game, for the most part, was an excellent addition to the franchise and was really, really creative in the way that it kind of branched out, while keeping in the same central theme.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the change in the truth versus lies theme, especially because what I've noticed in like the Danganronpa series as a whole is each like additional thing is really just trying to like is very almost suffers the problem of being too similar to the first Danganronpa, just subverting a few things to the point where it's almost predictable. But like the truth versus lies thing is at least a new thing being brought.
Like, the truth versus lies thing was really cool, especially like the debate thing where when the trial is split, like that.
Scrub debate!
Yeah. The only thing that like could have been added on to that was when like it was revealed that the flash gun thing was all Smoothie like giving them memories. I feel like they could have rolled with that a bit more, as in which one of their memories are what memories of theirs are true, which ones are false. I felt like they were starting to get into that in the last trial when their memories weren't lining up with the actual like Hope's Peak Academy history. But I was kind of disappointed that it was like, oh yeah, I just made that for this game. Could have done more with that.
So I just want to hit on the ending for V3 again. So going into V3, I always thought that the weakest part of most Danganronpa game, well, at the point of just 1 and 2, were the endings. Especially with 2, I felt like after 2.5 being like so intricate and well thought out, that 2.6 was like a huge letdown. And it just kind of like contrived to get an ending that led to whatever led to the anime. With V3, I know like it can come off, I guess, as a bit subversive, or I guess you can say it was contrived. But I think it was just compared to the 1 and 2 endings, where it was just so hope and despair and hope was gone. So yeah, it works out.
Yeah.
It at least, I feel like I don't know, it was just a nice change of pace for me. Also, it's been a while since I played it, but the impression I got when I finished V3 was that 1 and 2, along with, I guess, the anime, did happen in the universe, and then once everything in those games in the real world settled, those events became notoriety to the point where people started making fictional sequels to 1 and 2 that really happened. But I might be wrong with that. That's just how I took it.
No, it's totally fair.
Yeah, it's an excellent theory. There are parts of the V3 ending that I did enjoy as well. And just to let everyone know, we have 5 minutes left in the panel, so if you can keep the questions as quick as possible, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So I know you both talked about how much, like a bit about it, but straight up, how do you feel about Kokichi?
I love him.
Me too.
He's a very interesting character. He's definitely one of those characters that knows more than he lets on to, and he was, I imagine like in the scenes where you couldn't actually see him, he was going around, he was like trying to just figure everything out. I mean, when you got to go into his room, he literally had like boards full of like stuff, and he was obviously trying to figure out the whole killing game as a whole.
Yeah. I actually really liked his character, and I like that he was trying to make light of a bad situation. Honestly, I feel like his whole character development and turnaround by the end of the game was really, really good.
In the beginning, hated him. I found him so annoying. And the longer I played, the longer he grew on me like a parasite. He grows on you like mold. Like mold. I'm allergic to mold. Yeah, I want to really like him by the end.
Also, I think we're going to take one more question since there was the shipping question that we still have to answer.
I was actually going to bring back that question, and when you guys were done, I was going to share my response.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to go with least favorite ship, because I find that's better than better ships.
Yeah.
All right, Beth, do you have a least favorite ship?
Oh god. Least favorite ships. No, I guess I don't really like any ship with Corkio because he's just not just, I don't like him. I don't know, I guess just with the characters that I don't like, which is like Corkio, Hafume, and Yasuhiro. I actually don't like Yasuhiro. Controversial opinion, I don't like him.
Validation.
Least favorite ship. A lot of people in this room are probably going to hate me for this, but you know, it's my opinion. I'm allowed to have opinions, but I honestly,
I think I know what you're gonna say.
I honestly dislike the shipping of Chihiro, Mondo, and Ishimaru.
Valid. Yeah.
And it's simply because of the fact that I feel like there is a better ship with more potential that nobody ever talks about because it's literally just for a brief second mention. And Leon, Mondo, and Chihiro, they were friends. Leon and Mondo were helping Chihiro become more manly, and I just feel like that would have been such a more wholesome ship.
Yeah.
I don't actually have one, so I'm just gonna make one up. Teru X Gundam's Hamsters.
That's the best ship, okay?
Begin the wars.
Maybe I'll back.
I'm seriously, I'm not supposed to fight anyone. I'm not that good.
Alright. This falls under the umbrella of, I guess, multiple ships, but my least favorite ships are Tenko with any male character.
Yes.
Yeah. Tenko is a lesbian, guys.
Tenko confirmed lesbian.
Tenko confirmed lesbian.
Alright, well, we have like a minute left, so I think it's only fair that we actually do answer the favorite ships question since it was asked earlier.
All right, Beth?
Favorite ship, I have three favorite ships. One, I like Suichi, Kaito, and Maki. The three of them, the workout squad, they are great. From DR1, I love Naegi and Kirigiri, fight me. And DR2, I love Komaeda, Hajime, and Chiaki. The three of them are just great.
I already briefly mentioned it, but Leon, Mondo, and Chihiro is my favorite ship.
I'm a little bit biased, but I have to go with Leon and Chihiro.
Well, yeah.
So my favorite ships are, I really like Oma and Sakara.
Yes.
Right. I already mentioned Komahina. And I just have a super soft spot for Naegi and Fukuro.
All right, well, we have to end the panel here, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Before we go, I also want to announce that tomorrow we are hosting a Danganronpa photo shoot DT2, which is the grassy area behind the Delta Hotel.
Yeah.
And it's also going to be a meetup. So since we're the last people there, we have that area for as long as we want.
We'll be
so
there.
hopefully we see you guys.
Yeah,